Do they make the sub? Do they get one of the big players off? If they're not making the impact, probably got to rotate one off the ground.
Well, Chris Mayne, I think, is working his way back into some really good form. But he, when he was out of form a couple of weeks ago, ended up at half-back.
Crows by 2 points to start the second half. They'll be back inside the 8 at the conclusion of this game if they can get up from here. Fyfe, good kick to attacking 50, and Smith, who's played every game this year, having an outstanding season, in the right spot.
Yeah, it is Garrett Gibbertson. He's going to take the highest forward. He started with Jenkins and now they swung forward, and Podge, you can see they're being tackled by Garrett Gibbertson, who normally takes a mid-range forward.
Kerridge elected not to go for the mark there, to knock it down instead, and it's failed him in the end. Pierce, that's a splendid tackle by Douglas. Probably Bull didn't look to dispose of it legally. McKay takes off anyway. Jenkins back towards the goal square. Now he comes back at the kicker. Lace out, but a tough angle.
Well, Jacobs has pushed forward. He's not being utilised though. So we're going to see the boomerang used for sure.
Good understanding between the two players there. In McKay hitting up the pass from Jenkins, he was steaming back towards goals, pushed off his opponent.
Going to go modern day. The SJ curve is going about to be on display.
He's been a little inaccurate. 2 goals, 6 so far.
Oh, the floater.
And Mzungu takes the mark. Well, 2 goals, 6 the past fortnight, 19-17 for the season so far, Josh Jenkins, so hasn't been with his kicking boots on in the last couple of weeks, and you could see he wasn't too sure there. Duffield, back pocket.
I think that's the point, Dwayne. If you're going to go for the Stevie J, you've got to commit to it. Have a decent crack at it. He was half and half there.
And you've got to practice it.
Yeah, that's a very good point as well. Jacobs takes it to the line. If you haven't had 500 shots at training doing it,
don't roll it out here in front of 40,000. That's why I'd probably just go the drop punt and take the point.
Been a fantastic contest so far. It was the voice of Alistair Lynch, of course, who kicked 633 goals during the course of his 3 premiership career. Sandlands, Fyfe, Barlow, the 1-2, McFarlane to Fyfe, bumped on the kick. Sutcliffe stands under it. Cameron worried him out of it nicely. Laird back to Cameron, who's already got 3 in the bank. Hands it back out. Sloan from Brown. Otten, stand start if he wants. Great smother, Mzungu. Body on the line. Jacobs, here's the Fremantle pressure. It comes in 2, 3, 4 players there. Still a chance for Adelaide inside 50. And the umpire's letting it run. He's going to have to sort it out. Low scoring contest, as you'd expect, against the Dockers. Sandlands with the reach. Mundy manufactured a kick and it works. Barlow down the middle. Pavlich wants it long. He goes to Ballantyne. Pavlich leads back at Ballantyne. Ballantyne wants someone other than Pavlich. Beckoning someone else. Pierce is the someone else. Stops on the left. Maybe just beyond his range. That is a splendid run from Hill. It bounced unkindly initially. Still got it in the pocket. Centering kick. Missed Mayne. Missed Pav. Gathered on the bounce. Handball poor. Tied off the deck by Smith. Jacobs has got it. And the game's lifted a gear again. Dangerfield tucked up against the boundary. Takes it out.
Great running from both teams, both defensively and offensively. Just the kick just missed Hill. The tackle on the ball. And big Sammy Jacobs just sprayed that handball, but a fierce contest.
Crowd starting to get back into it again. Down towards Fyfe. Couldn't break free. Thompson gets a kick of sorts. Spurs stands under it and Hill takes the mark. Spurs hurt.
Knee in the ribs.
Coming off a 4-goal game last week. But he's beyond his range maybe. So Hill sits it up in hope. Mzungu and Pavlich stole it from him. Mzungu, the big leap. The Pav read it to perfection.
Sando not happy in the coach's box. Ball was kicked to a dangerous position on the field, but a lot of defenders around. Didn't get the fist on the ball. Pav had too easy a free run at that contest.
1 goal, 2 so far today. For the lead back again. This shouldn't trouble him.
Ooh.
He squeezes it in. That'll settle the nerves.
Didn't exactly flush it, but got the reward. The 6 points makes an enormous amount of difference. And needed to do that. Here's the lead and mark. Very rarely does a big forward get a free run at the contest. And basically went through and took an uncontested mark amongst 6 or 7 players.
Yeah, I think the bottom line was Daniel Talia had no expectation that he was going to get there. So he didn't have his timing right for the spoil as well. And that just shows how close it was. Post had to move sideways.
He's a superstar, Matty Pavlich. 2 goals, 2 today so far. Kicking boots not quite on. Snuck that one through.
Sandlin's the palm down in Fyfe's direction. He got it on the run. Pops it to Ballantyne. Mark or free? Unlucky. Very, very unlucky. And the crowd not happy with that.
No, Fyfe is looking at the umpire, asking him what the hell happened there.
Crowley floats it. Pav again. 2 to beat. Almost beat them both. Douglas tried to fend off. That's normally Pryor. You put your arm up, you fend off. That means you could have handballed.
Sam Kerridge has got to get a little bit closer to Nat Fyfe because he's starting to look awfully dangerous.
Didn't put the full arm up, didn't get the whole arm extended. So maybe a good call there from the umpire, Brown. And the tap out was clever.
Just to reinforce your point, Jared, Fyfe has had 5 disposals for the quarter. So just starting to get really dangerous.
Yeah, he looks hungry. Maybe he should swap jumpers with Ryan Crowley and interchange.
We've just settled in after half-time. They've already jumped with their sub, Fremantle. Johnson's done for the afternoon and Sheridan's into the action. Adelaide still have their sub, but they did have to make a change pre-game. Cam Ellis-Yeoman coming in for Matthew Wright. So the first gamer sits on the bench for the Adelaide Crows. He'll be expected to come on and have an impact. Thompson. Dawson didn't want to take possession, lucky to get away with that.
Lynchy, the setup there for Adelaide, I mean, they've got their 3 tools within a 20-25 metre radius of each other. When you've got a mismatch the way that they do, you've got to be a little bit smarter and spread these guys out a little bit. They've got Podsy on Duffield there at that stoppage, and yet he was 10 metres away from the stoppage.
Yeah, some of them, your most important roles in the team is the ones that have to clear the contest. Isolate your strengths.
Spur caught by Betts. Neal. Got it to Dawson, gives to Hill, short to Ballantyne.
That's why he's such a dangerous and great player, Hill, because he, under pressure, can hit targets.
And here he is to hit another one. Sits it up a little, getting back. Amazing run, just into the action, and Sheridan takes a ripper.
Good use of the body. The kick was really well weighted, so obviously favoured Sheridan on that occasion. Just held his opponent under the ball, didn't use the hands, just up against the body. Slight hand on the neck, nothing in that. Good mark.
There's a lot of qualities in midfielders that we all admire, but hitting targets is one of the primary prerequisites of being a top liner.
This is for Fremantle's biggest lead of the game for a 10-point margin, and they're onside.
Well, sometime today, Lynchy, a forward is going to mark it and flush the ball because even the 2 goals that they've kicked in this term have both just floated through. But that was once again on the end of excellent work from Stephen Hill. That was a terrific mark. There it is, Stephen Hill just getting the ball over to his advantage. It was his second kick in that passage of play, and through it goes. The umpires pumping themselves up, wanting every angle covered.
First kick of the game, first goal of the game, honours the sub, having an impact already. And the ball up. Good attack from Martin, but he was caught by the arm. Umpire said he got it away legally. Jacobs to Laird. Over the head of Jenkins. Dawson held him off it. Spur jumped on, throws it up. Dawson gets it off. Sutcliffe, McFarlane, Dawson. They work it around. Sheridan got it back to Spur. Back to the wing. Rutten got there. Over to you, Adelaide. Can they respond? Both teams have had 10-point margins. That's the biggest margin to either team for the game. Right. Sits it up for Podsy Adelaide to go up, really. Hasn't had a chance to float into a contest like that for a while. Centering kick, Walker in a good spot. Just beats him. Oh, he gets a free. Even Walker wasn't expecting that.
I don't think anyone was expecting that. Bit of a soft one. Good to see Podsy Adelaide pushing up at the contest and taking the mark. To this stage of the quarter, there had been only one possession from the three big forwards. So good to see the two big forwards combining. Now this man will go around on the left, and this is something he does practice.
See if he thinks his way through this. Mundy's 5 metres off the man with the ball. He's very close, and he doesn't even score. Good centering kick. Jacob stands under it. Can't mark it. Barlow gets it off. Sutcliffe wide. Pavlich. Played for the free. Didn't get it. Out of play.
It's gone to exactly the same spot as Josh Jenkins' snap on the left as well. Just not working for either team.
Do you think they'll be told to put those ones away for the rest of the year, mate?
There'll be a drop punt, I reckon, on your dominant side.
Either that or just practice it.
Just on your percentage, though, surely you're better off kicking a boomerang or a check side on your preferred side than a round the corner on your non-preferred.
But Dwayne's point is perfectly valid. Whatever you're practicing at training.
Good kick, Dangerfield. Dangerous spot. Lions. He can't hit it. And that's one thing that we know Stephen Johnson has done that with the Cats for a couple of years now. He has practiced it. It's been his. Had it in the kit bag for a long time. Duffield. Thumps it towards Clark. Jacobs in front of him. Sloan. Good reach down by Clark. Got it to ground. Pearce put himself in the spot. Caught though. Mundy caught. Through legs. Barlow caught. Ridden. To the side though. There's your explanation for the umpire to the side. Ball up. 9-point game. It's been tight from the outset. Thompson again. Screws it around. Jenkins up from 3 deep. Couldn't pluck it. Ibbotson. McFarlane. Put Ibbotson back under some pressure. McFarlane, Duffield, some poise from the experienced defenders. Pavlich held off it. Thompson can't mark. Gathered his own crumb. Jacobs, slick hands. Laird, top of the square, sits a little. Martin was pushed out, so Martin will have a shot from 35 directly out.
There wasn't much in it, but the hand was on the back, and the umpire was only 5 metres away.
These repeat forward 50 entries. Now it's 8-3 this term, Adelaide's way, because they just keep bombing the ball back in. There's a little push, and that is a free kick in modern football. You can't do that. Must kick the goal here. 4 of the last 5 have been Docker's goals.
Concentration written all over his face for the boos, but kicking to the Adelaide stronghold, he fists the air. Back to 3 points.
And Tex was pretty appreciative, gave him a little peck on the cheek. He liked it.
There's that hand in the back. Not a lot in it, but every day of the week in modern football, that's a free kick. Just didn't need to do it. Just put the rest of the forearm onto the back.
It was only a balancing. It was only almost a distancing.
Well, that's the thing. The rule is no longer about a push.
That's right.
It's just you're not allowed to actually put the hand on the back.
He's just walking the boundary down here at the moment, Tommy Sheridan. He's absolutely fuming, Jared, at this particular point.
Back in the middle. Jacobs edges out Sandlin to the knee. Illegal. And the crowd roar their approval. And it's on Walker and McFarlane. Umpires right with them behind play. Dawson hands it off to Ibbotson. He's about to thump it to the square. He sees the lead from Pavlich. Mzungu stands under it. Floating back, Main couldn't take the mark. Pavlich got there. Hammers it out towards Mundy. Stand, start, shot. Doesn't get the bounce. An intense contest, and it has been from the opening bounce. Fremantle like to lock you up. Put the ball and chain on. Stop it from getting out of defence. It's been tough for Adelaide, but they've taken it on a few times, and they do it here. Douglas.
They like going to that right-hand side.
That's the only spot they go, isn't it?
Jacobs to Douglas.
You'd like to think they'll get a goal from it in the last quarter going out to the left.
Or even down the middle. Just empty it out.
Turnover. Jacobs bounced kind of in to Douglas on the run. Tough kick to mark. McFarlane's back with a flight.
Well, this is pretty frustrating for Brenton Sanderson. He's got 3 tools. He's back in the tools. And they kick a long bomb in. And it wasn't so much the problem with the tall players that the kick wasn't great. It didn't favour anyone. Went over Walker's head and fell short of Jenkins.
Pearce found Pavlich. He wants Main. Otten with him. Main up. Good fist.
Such an important player in this side, Otten. Great flexibility. He can go forward. He can go back. He can play middle. He can play full forward. And when he is missing, they just seem to lack that little bit of something in their flexibility department.
Just his second game of the year as well, Otten. Jacobs.
Returned last week against the big Suns forwards and did a good job.
I reckon he was the player that was missing against Carlton in that final term when they took Rutten off and they pushed Podge-Yadley back. If they had had an Otten there, probably it may have been a different result. Chance here, centering kick.
Still a chance. Got his own ball. Turned around. Class act. Nat Fyfe.
Lynchy, he signalled his attention from the opening bounce of this term. His highlights package in the first 5 minutes of the term was superb. He might have been challenged by the coach at half-time to give him something extra. He had a quiet first term, but since quarter time he's been great. And then he pushed him into the forward line, and he's so dangerous. It was a good little handball there by Mundy to set it up. But this is a one-on-one. Kerridge at full back. Fyfe at full forward. Fyfe gets the chocolates.
6 disposals for the quarter for Nate Fyfe in his first goal of the term, and it's such an important one. He's had 2 goals, and that's 15th touch for the game.
Again a 10-point margin, and again the Fremantle chant rings around Patterson Stadium. Clark couldn't get on the end of it. Subin does to Ballantyne. Pavlich is on the move. Used his body. Couldn't quite mark it. Good spoil, Talia. Thompson caught though. Manufactures some sort of handball. Subin pokes it back. Centering kick. Hill. And this is for the biggest lead of the game to either team.
And once again, that is a golden kick. In the crush, some players have got the capacity to slow the game down like Subin did then. Look inboard and deliver. Others blast away. It becomes a game of Russian roulette. Subin was superb there.
This is what they do well. When they actually go inside forward 50, they score. They haven't been scoring goals today, but as they did last week, they got smashed for forward 50 entries, but won the game.
Having a purple patch now.
The footy's back.
Is that flat footy? Or it might have been the gale that just swept across the ground in the last half hour.
Still the biggest lead of the game to either team. 11 points the margin. Fyfe having a rest.
So that, just touch on last week, forward 50s was 67-41, so they were minus 26 last week and won by 38 points.
Well, he couldn't have picked out Aaron Sandlands anymore.
Well, they've rehearsed for it all day.
Barlow. Told to go back, find a body. Pavlich is in the goal square.
Well done,
ignores him, and I mentioned Dawson rarely kicks. He's going to have to kick this.
He'll give it a handball off one. You've predicted it. Oh, Subin went for it.
I like the steadiness of his walk back. He's got his mind on the job.
There's nothing wrong with being predictable at kick-outs because your team knows where the ball's going. I guess that's a positive, but it does seem a little bit repetitive, and if you're going to kick it to the tallest man in the game, that doesn't make common sense.
6 goals in 128 games, and he salutes.
It took the full-back to actually flush one in front of goal. Beautiful kick from 50 metres. Now they're actually getting rewarded for effort again, going forward. So they've actually dominated the last 40 minutes of play against the Adelaide Crows, and that is 6 goals to 1 in that period of time. And they've had their opportunities the Crows in this quarter have gone in a number of times, but just haven't been able to kick the ball straight enough. Inside 50s, 8-9 in favour of Adelaide.
Had the worst kick rating of any defender in the competition in 2013.
Not a big rap.
And that was from the time it hit the leather. Sweet off the boot and never in doubt. Fremantle hot right now. A purple army. They've pumped up the volume. Dangerfield. Douglas. Betts, who hasn't seen a lot of it yet. Spurs been his keeper. Hands it off. Thompson put him under pressure.
Well, just a dumb handball for mine, and he shouldn't have been calling for it at the same time. He's just going to run into the man on the mark.
Fyfe back to Barlow. Pavlich leads up to the wing, got it. It's all starting to unfold nicely for the home team.
But impressive. Look at this. Ibbotson coming off the half-back line, exposing the taller player.
I think they've got to make a move, the Adelaide Crows, with the taller player now.
Spur to the spot. Half volley from Main. Tried to claim it. Again, the break-free option for Sheridan. Mazungu. Barlow. Thought about handballing. Thought about the goal. And he's missed everything.
But his initial intention was to handball, but he withdrew the gift because it wasn't on. It was well covered, so he's entitled to have a crack.
They've turned the screws here, Fremantle. Fyfe! Crowd are getting involved. Ibbotson floats in.
It's a free kick.
Had to be a marker of free. Just beyond his range. Crowd roaring. They've pumped up the volume here big time. McFarlane. Dawson's just kicked one. McFarlane beyond his range. Backtracks.
Well, they've loaded up a goal square.
He's got every Adelaide player ahead of him.
Big Sandy's there. Why wouldn't you go to him?
Sandy's there. Podsy's is there. Sandy.
Play on.
Time to go.
Shoot.
I don't know who else touched it then.
Oh, and Yench under enough pressure. That's allowed.
That's a very good point, Lynchie.
It's a long way
a
out.
step ladder out there.
Have a look at this. That's off his hand. That's a mark every day of the week. I don't think the truck got near it.
Yench wide. Jenkins. And again, he hasn't seen a lot of it, Jenkins. Ball in.
Just to reinforce that point, Josh Jenkins only 2 disposals for the game. Podsy Adley 7, Walker 10. They're just not marking the ball either.
Well, he's getting a big round of applause down there, Pods. Moons.
Yeah, he is. He's just rubbing a little bit of cloud out of the nose too. He's copped one for his great work. Bellucci, you spoke about make the sub. Look, if they're not going to move the ball quickly down into their big key forwards, then you do have to get them off. You know, they're moving the ball slowly. We've seen every time they've moved the ball slowly today, Adelaide, they've just been absolutely gobbled up by Fremantle.
Sutcliffe long. Fyfe! Having a huge impact.
Not sure who's good enough to go with him, but Sam Kerridge hasn't got the athleticism in any way, shape or form at the moment to go with this bloke. Patrick Dangerfield has been going to him occasionally as centre bounces. I think they've got to neutralise this bloke by getting Dangerfield free, getting him to do his damage with the football, because this bloke is just too good.
Well, Kerridge still only young. In fact, he's only one game over the NAB Rising Star limit for this year, Sam Kerridge. So Fyfe has him covered in many aspects. He just needs to finish his work better than that.
A big quarter at half-time. He was reasonably quiet with the 9 disposals and 1 goal. But he's just torn this game apart in the third quarter.
Out on the full.
On the right side, though, Brian.
Barlow told to go. Was that 15? Doesn't matter. Thumped away, and Crows earn themselves the ball in, but they are under the pump now.
Yeah, they've got just under 4 minutes. They've got to respond here. They've got to just get themselves back to within that 2.5 goal range.
But as Moon said, it's got to come from that run-off half-back. Smith carrying the ball, McKay. Yes.
It feels like the last 10 minutes have just been played right of screen.
It has, Joe. They have not taken the game on at all in the second half at the moment, Adelaide. As soon as you go slow, as we've said, that's just it's exactly what Fremantle want. They want you to go slow. They can zone off. They can do all sorts of things and put so much pressure on you.
Tide can turn quickly in games of AFL football, but right now Adelaide look more likely to be drowned out by Fremantle in the final quarter than overrun them.
Well, the key running players, Smith, McKay off half back, have only had the 5 disposals between them in this quarter.
Hill just got a handball up in time.
But they've been reactionary in this term. It's been the Dockers that have been inside the greatest, and they're just whipping the ball in and around looking for an exit strategy. The Crows appear to be doing a lot of tackling and not a lot of running with the footy.
Douglas toward Walker, and he gives away the free. McFarlane's ball. It's been his keeper so far, Luke McFarlane. Ibbotson. Sutcliffe. Ibbotson. Pavlich wants it long again. In his direction, goes up, makes a contest. McKay, arms free. Laird.
See, once again, this is their only strategy. Long bombs under pressure out of the back half. They've got to somehow relax a little bit, look up and hit a target. That's probably the 5th in this term.
We'll take the game on with the handball and run in waves. At the moment, they look like they're that tense. They're too scared to leave their opponents and run and back themselves.
Hill sits it up long. Otten to the contest. Gets it back from Brown. And this will be coming back again. Duffield waits under it. Gets an unkind bounce, or kind in the end. He ran onto it nicely. Spears it inside 50. Brown with the fist. Talia the exit kick.
Another bomb.
And again, Dawson stands under it. And they've got the numbers.
Well, they've got the numbers back. They've got to use it with hands and get some space.
It's been risky getting caught with the ball by taking the game on and running at least.
Well, the long bomb is just not really achieving anything because it's just coming straight back.
Pavlich beyond his range. Inside 2 minutes to three-quarter time. They've owned this term, Fremantle. It's going to sit it up. Big leap. Clark got hands to it. Jacobs to Jenkins. Good wrestle. Couldn't complete the deal. And didn't really get a handball away on it.
But again, under pressure, just a long bomb out. Good contest from Freo to spoil that, bring it to the ground.
And he's asking where was the prior opportunity.
So Spur, he's done a fantastic job on Eddie Betts. Eddie's still goalless for the afternoon, and now Spur gets a chance to kick one on him. 26 possessions to this point of the game. The former South Australian. He's passed it off instead. Lace out to Ballantyne. And this would be the perfect end to what's almost been a perfect quarter for Fremantle.
Great composure from the defender. As you said, an experienced player in South Australia with those 3 premierships with Central Districts. Was overlooked prior to that in the draft when he started his football up in Queensland as well, but became a really good player in the AFL.
Seconds tick down. Ballantyne will get the kick away before the siren. A joy to watch. Fremantle in control, 25 points up.
Well, they've missed opportunities in that second term. They've been able to turn that around. They've had 9 scoring shots in this third term, kicking 5 goals for. A bit astray in the early stages, but have just sorted things out. And has come about from some really smart football from the likes of Lee Spur there, defending extremely well, but had the composure to wait till something opened up. The work rate of his forwards to find space, create space, and then present with leads as well.
Well, we've got Patrick Dangerfield up against Fyfe. Now they're swinging it over. And Smith is going with him at the centre clearance. I think they've just got to roll the dice and try and get something out of that matchup.
They need a mark out of this. They blaze away and they don't get the mark they're after. And of all people, Spur takes the mark on the siren.
It's a great quarter by the Dockers. They just applied finals-like pressure to the Crows, and the Crows midfield and half-backs were found wanting. And if they're going to play any serious finals footy, Lynchy, they're going to have to address kicking the ball under the pump.
No doubt about that. They've got to get someone to match up the loose man across the half back for Freo as well.
They've come from 10 points down, Fremantle, to lead by 25 at three-quarter time. And they have the Adelaide Crows on the rack.